To start off, why were you attracted to the project?
Well, when I first saw the script and I saw the character, I loved how independent and capable Mika was. She's really interesting character, and there's not so much said about her. So she has a lot of backstory that you can create, and I always find that's really interesting in characters when you can kind of look at them and then you can make your own decisions about, okay, is she this, is she that, and you never fully know. It always draws me in. So, and then obviously the fact that her story with Andy's character is so interesting. Um, so that really drew me to it, and working with Denny, who I've always wanted to work with.
For sure. Speaking of developing a backstory that you were kind of able to do on your own, how did you go about that?
Well, Denny, as I say, was very forthcoming with our questions. So if I wanted to ask, something about, oh, okay, so when her second kid did this, blah, 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 all these things aren't in the script, but it helped me create the character. She was great with it. So she was always on email, always on, phone call if we wanted to do that. And then with Matthew being able to workshop that relationship was really interesting too, because it's very nuanced, and it's they're always kind of going back and forth, and you don't know who to trust. And I really enjoyed being able to do that.
Yeah, how were you able to develop that type of on-screen relationship with Matthew? Because Mika's not really forthcoming of what she knows, and honestly, neither is Andy. How was it like to play that?
It was funny because obviously you film when you're not filming in order, so you really, and I feel like with their dynamics, so much changes with what they know of each other, what they think of each other along the way. So you're really having to keep in mind where you are at in that specific moment. But Matthew's obviously, he's a not only a terrific actor, but he's very generous as an actor. So we're able to work those scenes together and really play in the moment, which felt very authentic.
Um, Speaking of the show is an international show, and your character is in a lot of different countries. How was it like to film a show around the world in a sense?
Well, it was during the pandemic, so it was a little crazy in terms of a lot of COVID testing, a lot of uh, what are they called? Those sticks being shoved up your nose. You know what I'm
Yeah, the
talking about.
long Q-tips. Yeah.
The long ones, and a couple that drew blood, so that wasn't very fun. But it was interesting. It was at a strange time because it did feel like there were a lot of parallels with what's happening in the world, with also what's happening in the show. So, which could be a little bit jarring, but also important. When you're telling a story that's very current.
Yes. You actually have a lot of an action background based on your resume. What kind of attracts you to those kind of high stakes roles?
I think, I mean, I love portraying capable women. That's a big part of it. You know, um, it's more, you see it more on screen now, of course, but I still think we need lots of it, and I think it's really important to show those role models to our kids as well.
Yes. So the show is a 5 hour miniseries. How is it like to explore a character beginning to end in 5 hours? Because it's longer than a movie, but kind of shorter than like several seasons of a TV show. How was it like to go about that challenge, and how did you do it?
Personally, I love the miniseries. So I love to watch a miniseries because if you know that you've got however many seasons, it can kind of be a bit like, okay, I have to prepare for this. And then, with films, it's obviously you've watched a movie and then you've gone away. So a kind of a 5-part series, I feel like it's a nice chunk of time to be able to explore that. And then because it's based on the books, it's, you kind of get a bit of a background from that and then where it could possibly go. But then also creating it oneself. So it was a nice amount of time for me to have that journey.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and congrats on the
Oh,
series and future
thank
projects.
you, Ariana, and it's a pleasure. Great. Take care. Bye.